Welcome in, Chiefs Kingdom, to Chiefs Latest, your one-stop spot for everything Kansas City Chiefs in 15 minutes or less. It is your host, Calvin Silvers. Happy Thursday. We are one day away from game day. It's weird to say that on a Thursday, but yeah, Chiefs kicking it off in Brazil against the Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to be a divisional matchup right away, the first since 2018 for the Chiefs. I know we're all itching to see how Patrick Mahomes looks, including some other rookies and whatnot, but there's some injury news that we got to dive into. Not only that, there is a legend that has a crazy take about Patrick Mahomes. This episode is going to be a fun one, but before we dive into it all, you know the drill. Doesn't matter what platform you are listening on. If you could just take 1 second, please hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on notifications because we have daily, that's right, daily videos here at Chiefs Latest, Monday through Friday. Season starts for the Chiefs on Friday, so you're not going to want to miss any of the news, rumors, or actions regarding this team. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, as it not only helps me in the channel, but it's going to help you stay up to date with everything Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I mentioned there is some injury news, but the good thing is that the Chiefs are walking into Brazil with a mostly healthy roster. But rookie wide receiver Jalen Royals is out for week 1, and defensive tackle Omar Norman-Lott, he has a lingering ankle injury that could sideline him. That's going to put Kansas City in a tough spot regarding their defensive tackle depth, and it might show against the Chargers. With Rashee Rice also suspended, you really can't lose that many receivers. So Royals hurt. That sucks because he needs to get out there. He needs to get as much experience as he can early. He needs to get that connection with Mahomes going early. And Norman Lott's potential absence, that's going to again put a thin defensive interior on the line against a team like the Chargers, who are really good at running the ball. And this all comes after you cut Mike Pennell. So now Jerry Tillery's role becomes massive, but counting on him, counting on a hobbled Norman Lott to stop, again, that run-heavy attack that the Chargers are going to bring at you, kind of feels like a gamble. And I don't really know if the Chiefs can afford that. Not week 1, not moving forward. And Norman Lott had a good college career, 13.5 sacks. So the Chiefs believe that he can become a dependable player for them on this defensive line, on not only run stopping, but also as a pass rusher. So Royals' absence, that leaves Mahomes leaning on Jason Brownlee, which that's not bad. That's not the worst option, but it's not necessarily the best thing. Again, you want to see Royals, you want to see your shiny new draft pick out there connecting with Mahomes and getting that going as soon as possible. Again, you want to build a long-lasting relationship between these two because you're hoping it will be a long-lasting relationship. Hopefully, Royals pans out to what we think he can be, and he's in a Chiefs uniform for a while. But this uncertain status of Norman Lott, I mean, that means Tillery, Noddy, they're going to have to step up. They're going to have to clog the run lanes, or Spags will have to shuffle Jones and is going to have to lean on edge rushers to get to Herbert and disrupt his rhythm. So it's really Harbaugh's interior run focus, led by Najee Harris now, that is going to or could exploit this Chiefs depleted defensive tackle depth if Norman Lott's limited or even inactive. But there is a name out there that the Chiefs could pick up to fill this depth issue, and I just don't know if it's the right name. And that's because I am talking about maybe bringing Christian Wilkins to the team. I mean, he's still available, which might be shocking to some. He was cut by the Raiders in July. He offers a high upside fix, but his injury history, his locker room concerns, it does raise some red flags. But he is a 3-down defensive lineman. He could transform Kansas City's interior alongside the one and only Chris Jones. But the questions all come back to his recovery. How is he handling that from a Jones fracture? His willingness to take a cheap deal. It's a risky bet for Veach, and one that I don't even know if Wilkins will take. But he might if no one else is offering him anything right now. Last season, 17 tackles, 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits in only 5 games. But in 2023, with the Dolphins, 9 sacks. That was a career high, 23 quarterback hits and 65 tackles combined. In his PFF run defensive grade, 71.5 each of the last 4 years, and he has at least half a sack over the last 22 games. So he's disruptive. His ability to clog lanes, push the pocket, that would ease pressure on Tillery would ease pressure on Noddy, would allow Norman Lott to recover to 100%, and he is a good addition to counter both the run and pass games. His 2024 setbacks, his reported locker room friction, including a teammate incident that I'm not going to dive too much into, means that Veach must weigh his elite 2023 form against how he will fit not only culture-wise, but his health as well. But again, will anyone want him in the locker room after his antics with the Raiders? I don't know. But he has a proven run-stopping ability. He has proven pass rush skills. It does make him a quote-unquote dream addition to bolster the Chiefs' defensive tackle room. But his injury concerns, locker room baggage, it might put Veach to just stick with what he's got right now. Hope that Norman Lott's injury is not that bad, doesn't linger too much. Hopefully, Jerry Tillery can do something. I just don't know if Wilkins is the right fit just because of all the baggage that he carries. But he would be an instant fix for the depth there at D tackle. Let's kind of shy away from this because there's been one headline that has just kind of taken over my brain lately regarding the Chiefs, and it's Joe Montana. His take on wanting to start a franchise with the likes of the quarterbacks of Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, and Brock Purdy. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. I did not say Patrick Mahomes. It's baffling, especially when his excuse is Mahomes is not young enough. That just falls flat on its face against what his other top picks were. QB ages in 2025. Mahomes will be 30, Burrow 29, Allen 29, Herbert 27, Hurts 27, and Purdy 25. Besides Purdy, no one's really that far off from Mahomes 30, and he's not 30 yet. He will be this season. But not only that, Mahomes has transformed the Chiefs into a dynasty. 3 Super Bowl wins in 5 appearances. He has more playoff wins than Joe Montana. He has 17. Montana has 16. What is Montana talking about? This feels more like a head scratcher than a legit critique of Patrick Mahomes. Since Mahomes has been the starter, 77.6 regular season win rate, 17-4 playoff record, 7 conference appearances, 5 Super Bowl appearances with 3 Super Bowl wins. No quarterback in the history of the NFL with at least 100 starts has a higher winning percentage than Patrick Mahomes. Why wouldn't you want to start a franchise with this guy? The Chiefs, since the merger, were 4-16 in the playoffs and had 1 conference appearance. Since Mahomes, I just read those stats. The 13 years before Mahomes for Andy Reid, he went to 1 conference championship and won 4 playoff games. This guy changes franchises. He created a dynasty. Herbert has 0 playoff wins. Allen cannot beat Mahomes when it truly matters, when it comes to the playoffs. And Burrow, probably has the best case. He beat Mahomes, has had MVP-like seasons, but he has a shaky injury history that I would stay away from and just pick Mahomes. Mahomes is available all the time. So Montana's decision to want to start a franchise with 5 quarterbacks over Mahomes and then uses age as a flimsy excuse, I'm not buying it. It ignores the historic playoff success, the dynasty building resume. It's making this list feel more like a hot take for some clicks on an article more than a reasoned argument. I just hate to see that, especially when it comes to someone like Patrick Mahomes. Well, let's talk about some fun stats or maybe some fun facts. Because yesterday I did this and I said I was going to try to find some facts or some stats that were interesting leading up to this Chargers game. I talked about the Chiefs' international record yesterday. I talked about their AFC West dominance yesterday, but I want to talk about 2 young athletes on this Chiefs roster and just give some fun stats or facts about them. Well, we know Chiefs going to Brazil, clash with the Chargers. We might see some young stars show up, and those young stars could include Xavier Worthy and Josh Simmons. They could both steal the spotlight. Electric play, rock solid potential. I could set up not only them for a big week 1, but Patrick Mahomes for a big week 1. Worthy's rookie explosion, Simmons' emergence as a blindside protector, I think that might give Kansas City the edge, especially with a depleted wide receiver room and a need for pocket protection, not only against LA, but the whole season. In Worthy's final 10 games last year, 40 catches, 679 yards, and 6 touchdowns. From week 11 to the Super Bowl, he was averaging 7 targets, 5 catches, 62 yards a game, 9 total touchdowns. That was second among the rookies. And then if you look at Simmons in his preseason, 0 pressures allowed on 28 pass blocking snaps. And of course, he fell so low in the draft because of his injury. He has not missed any practices during camp. Were these vertical threat stretches? Defenses, we know that. We saw what he did even last year against the Chargers. I believe it was a 55-yard bomb for a touchdown. That's going to open up underneath routes for Kelsey, Juju Smith-Schuster, even if Rice and Royals are out. And then Simmons paired with Suamataia, if they could lock down that left side, it's going to give Mahomes the clean pocket that he thrives in and that we just want to see him have. So Worthy's big play spark, Simmons' pass protection potential signals a bright future for the Chiefs offense and a bright potential week 1. Hopefully they shine in Brazil. Mahomes could carve up the Chargers defense to kick off the season in style. I would love it. And it could all come down to how these two offensive players play. Well, that is all that I have on this game day eve before we kick it off officially. Start of the season on Friday in Brazil. As I mentioned, I am your host, Calvin Silvers. You are listening to Cheifs Latest. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. And let me know in the comments, are you ready for this upcoming game? Do you think the Chiefs will win? And not only that, what do you think about adding Christian Wilkins to this team? I'd love to hear it all. I am your host, Calvin Silvers. And until next time, have a good one.